Welcome back to Lawn Dude Unearthed. Today's topic is going to be a real serious topic that needs to be discussed a lot more. Please stick around for the whole entire video, or excuse me, please stick around for the whole entire podcast as we dive into this topic. Be blessed. Cue the intro. Good morning, good morning. Or afternoon or evening or whatever time that you are actually listening to this podcast. Real time. It is the morning. I am on my way to get an extra yard of black mulch. Go take care of this mulch job. Then I need to leave from there to go back and pick up my mini skid steer and actually Harley rake a baseball infield. That should be my day. But today's topic is going to be one of those topics that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to business owners. So this isn't just for lawn care professionals. This is for business owners in general. And I get real passionate about this topic because I understand. This topic is mental health. What is your mental health? How is it? How are you doing? How are you feeling? See, these are the questions that nobody ever wants to ask, but they need to be asked often. We need to check in on each other. If you haven't noticed, most of my podcasts, I've literally said the same thing. Check on your people, man. Check on your people, man. When I say that, what I'm saying is see what their mental's like. See how they're physically feeling. It's not easy to be a business owner, especially if you're an owner operator and you're in the service industry. Some of us, I know I can speak for me personally, owning a lawn and landscape business and being an owner operator, there are many mornings where my whole entire body is sore. Instead of just moaning and groaning and laying there longer and saying, oh my goodness, my body hurts, my motivation kicks in. And I remember why I'm doing this. I remember why I need to do this. And I get up. That's not me trying to be a tough guy, me talking about, oh yeah, I'm the man. That's not it at all. It's just the real. It's the real, man. Like, for real. When you wake up and you're in pain, your body's in pain, because you work your muscles sometimes that you're not always working. And no matter how many times you work those muscles, you still feel the soreness. But my question isn't so much, or not even my question. My topic isn't so much even on physicality, or how the body's feeling. I'm more so on the mental right now. Like, a lot of us are dealing with cash flow. We're dealing with clients all the time. Uh, we might be dealing with a client that has had a bad day, or, they're dealing with personal issues in their life. And the first person that a lot of times they'll go after and attack without even really knowing or meaning to do so is us, especially like I'm in the lawn care industry. Like I said, I could be on somebody's property and God forbid, say if I left a blade of grass, or I'm just making an example. I'm not saying that's what I do. But if I left a blade of grass, or say if I left, like, I don't know, this wouldn't be me, but say I didn't, like, clean out the driveway properly or the sidewalks or something like that, and that person's already in a bad mood. They might come at you, lash at you, you know, upset when even in their mind it's not that big of a deal. It's just they got so much other things going on that we're the scapegoat. So that's just one example. Another example is we also deal with a lot of cash flow issues, whether we want to or not. You always have that person that pays you when they want to pay you because we're last on their list of bills to pay. And I'm sure we all do it in one way or another. We always put something at the end of our payment list. Usually in the service industry, we're last, especially if you're lawn care landscaping, which is why I know for me, I've changed my policies to prepay or credit card on file. But as you know, commercials always do checks, and they pay when they want to pay. So that's something that we got to keep on our minds at all times. Not being able to receive payments when we exactly would like to receive them, or even when we've said payments need to be received, especially with commercials. I know for me, I deal with commercials that just pay when they want to pay. And when you're banking on those payments to cover your bills, to keep you afloat, sometimes it's tough to mentally stay good. And that's the best way I can phrase that. Doesn't sound right to me how I just said that, but that's the best way I can phrase it. It's tough to stay in a good mental place. I guess it's I guess it's a better way for me to describe that. It's tough to stay in a good mental state or status when you're trying to figure out cash flow all the time. I'm still in a position where this is an issue with me. You know, like I said, I'm one who's going to bring the real. I'm always going to keep it 100. I'm not out here to tell everybody how they should do things. I'm living the same life with you guys on a daily basis. I am a business owner. I deal with cash flow issues from certain clients. I bank on certain payments to come in. So I'm not sitting here telling you what you should do and how to get out of it. I'm still going through it with you guys. So I ask again, how are you? What's your mental? Trying to get all your services done while also trying to make sure the clients are satisfied. Even when it's not your fault, a lot of times you're trying to make sure that the client is satisfied. You're trying to make sure that you have all your legal stuff in place for your business. You're trying to make sure you have all the supplies and materials you need. Trying to make sure taxes are done. Trying to make sure your registration for that company vehicle is taken care of. Trying to make sure all your vendors are happy. Trying to make sure you're on top of sales. Trying to make sure you have enough work to move forward and keep the income flowing. There is a lot, and it is a lot, to deal with as a business owner. It is not for the weak. I've said that in previous podcasts. You have to be a strong person to be in this business. And that's not me just flapping my gums and saying, yeah, I'm the big tough guy. Yeah, I own a business. Nah, not even. But I do got to say, it takes a special kind of person to run a business in this day and age. Because there's not many things done in favor of us as business owners. I'll give you one example. In my area, we have what's called a business tangible tax. Some may be familiar with it, some may not. We're in Northern Virginia. So while your equipment gets you a tax write-off, when you actually, around this time of year, April 15th is when it's usually due, the slip they send. Any new piece of equipment I got from last year needs to be told to the county and the county assesses the value, and they come out with an amount, and you pay for that a tax on that equipment. Like I think last year, my business tangible alone was like $3,300 on top of personal property tax amount, on top of the company the company property tax, and I have another property tax with my wife and I. So when you add that up, that's 4 different taxes coming at me with good amounts on them. That's due October 5th. So you're paying for equipment that you got. You're paying to have new equipment. You're paying a tax on it. I'm not sure how every area does it, but that's an example of how everything's not just done in our favor. That's why I say it's rough to run a business. I told you, I've been audited before by the IRS. That wasn't fun. But I would say 90% though was because I am a small business owner. So it's not easy for us. How many personal people, like people with just a job, a regular 9 to 5, need bookkeepers? How many need help with taxes? So basically what I'm saying is it isn't easy to run a business. So again, I ask, for probably what sounded quite repetitive at this point, how is your mental? How are you doing? Now, what I say in these situations is because we deal with so much that stresses out, put us in a bad mental state, sometimes it's best that we find something to do to ease our mind. And I know it's a lot of people out there that's like in the position I'm in where it's not easy as a snap of a finger to just get up and go do something else. You know what I mean? Whether it's, getting away or even so much as, having the money to get away. A lot of you, I'm in the same position, need every last one of those production days and you don't have anyone else to kind of run the show when you're not out there. Well, there are other ways that you can kind of get away and relax. Spend time with your family. Try to tap out completely with your business, those moments that you're with your family. One example for me is, both of our kids play games. Son is baseball, daughter plays soccer. Going to their games, practices, watching them, spending time with them, spend time with my wife, watching shows with her, whatever we do to spend time. That's a way to tap out of the business and actually relax and help with your mental state. See if a loved one can call and check in or send you a text during the day. I know my wife, she'll check in on me. She'll shoot me a text or something like that. We'll text through the day. A lot of times it's hard to get on the phone because I'm on machinery all day. But just getting that text a lot of times helps with my mental because it puts you at ease and it makes you feel good. And I know for me, it's another reminder of why I'm doing this. For those who I love, those who are near and dear to my heart. If you have a hobby, like for me, I ride motorcycles. I have a motorcycle. I love riding that, and it eases my mind. And one thing about working is if I'm cutting like the big, like wide open fields, that's one of those things I can do. And honestly, it's good for me to do those and kind of free my mind up a little bit. Some people may go for a drive, you know what I mean? Some may play sports themselves. Some of you out there might actually still play sports. That's a good way to get away. So there are many ways to help with your mental, but the number one way I'm going to say is to get somebody, especially in the same industry as you. Like I keep saying, for me, I'm in the lawn care industry. I talk to a lot of peers, people who understand what you're going through, people who understand, who sometimes even may mentor you, through certain situations. Like they understand what's going on. A lot of times you can sit there and talk to your family about things going on with you in the business, and it's not their fault, but they don't understand. Now, some people get upset. They take it personal that that person doesn't understand, but you really can't. You gotta excuse me. I'm trying to get this mulch, and this yard is rough. You hear all those bumps. But what I'm saying is, you get somebody in the same industry that understands exactly what you're going through. Sometimes it's best for you. Get in a group on Facebook, one that doesn't ridicule you for everything that you say. That's not the group you want to be in. I have a couple groups I'm in where it's kind of like a no judgment zone. I try to get on there and talk to people as often as I can, or if I have a question, I can ask them, but I'm going to be honest with you. I know there are people in this industry whose cell phone numbers I have in my phone that I can shoot a text to or something like that, that usually I would hit up one of my buddies that's in the same industry. I even got buddies that's in different industries. Most of my brothers, most of my friends who've been close enough to be called brother are in the service industry, so we can relate a lot. So talk to someone. Don't let it all build up. It's not gonna help. Trust me, I know. I'm the type that I let a lot of stuff build up, and it doesn't help you in the long run. So, and the most important one, I am a believer, so I pray a lot. Not everybody's a believer, and I understand that. But that's important to me. I pray a lot in these situations. God who's always there, He always provides. So again, I ask, how are you doing? What is your current mental status? If you need to holler at somebody, you can contact me. We can talk. You can't find a peer near you and you need somebody to talk to, need someone to bend an ear to, shoot me a message. We can talk. All right, y'all. That's all I got on this topic. That's all I'm going to talk about this morning. But it's a very important topic that I felt like needed to be addressed. Just know, like I keep saying in all these podcasts, we're all in this together. Don't think you're alone. Take it easy. Peace. Thank you for listening to Lawn Dude Unearthed, where we dive into deep topics, discussing not only the highlight reels, but we talk about the lowlight reels, the struggles, the successes. Anything we want to talk about for today, we will cover on this podcast. Once again, I appreciate you for listening to this. If you can, please give us a 5-star review. We are currently on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, and still working on a few more. Thanks again for listening to us. Y'all be blessed. Peace.